You won't believe what just came to light. After months of speculation, Shaunie O'Neal finally broke her silence, and the truth about her marriage to Pastor Keon Henderson is far more shocking than anyone expected. Fans had been left guessing for so long. Were they still together? Were the rumors true? Well, now we know. Shaunie has confirmed it. Their marriage is officially over. But here is the shocking part. This wasn't just another celebrity breakup. This was deeper, messier, and way more complicated than what the public had imagined. For those who have followed Shaunie's journey, you know she is no stranger to the spotlight. From being the ex-wife of NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal to becoming the powerhouse behind Basketball Wives, Shaunie has always been at the center of media attention. But this time, it wasn't about a reality TV feud or a glamorous red carpet appearance. This was personal. After her high-profile divorce from Shaq, many thought she had finally found happiness with Pastor Keon Henderson. Their love story seemed perfect. A woman who had seen it all in the entertainment world and a respected man of faith coming together. It felt like a match made in heaven. But this is where it gets interesting. The media had painted a picture of a fairy tale romance, a fresh start, a new beginning, a love rooted in faith. Their wedding was a grand celebration, filled with love, blessings, and the promise of a strong future together. But behind closed doors, things weren't as picture perfect as they seemed. While Shaunie was known for her strong personality and success in the entertainment industry, Keon was a man deeply rooted in his faith and pastoral duties. Their worlds collided in ways that people hadn't seen. What makes this story different? Unlike typical celebrity divorces where fame and fortune take center stage, this breakup brought something else into the mix: religion, lifestyle differences, and a battle between public image and personal reality. For months, fans noticed something was off. The couple, who once flaunted their love on social media, suddenly became distant. Public appearances became rare, cryptic posts hinted at hidden struggles, and whispers of tension started growing louder. Yet, Shaunie and Keon remained silent, leaving fans to wonder, was everything okay? But now, Shaunie has spoken, and the truth is more complex than anyone imagined. But here's the craziest part. Shaunie didn't just confirm the divorce. She controlled the narrative. She took to social media, not to air out dirty laundry, but to calmly announce the end of their marriage. No drama, no public fights, just a simple confirmation that their journey together had come to an end. But why now? Why, after all the rumors, did she suddenly decide to speak out? Was it to clear the air, or was there something bigger going on behind the scenes? One thing is clear, destiny took an unexpected turn for Shaunie O'Neal and Keon Henderson. What seemed like a solid partnership had slowly unraveled, and now the world was left wondering, what really happened? Was it just a case of two different people growing apart, or were there hidden struggles that no one knew about? After Shaunie O'Neal confirmed the end of her marriage, the internet exploded with speculation. Fans demanded answers. What had gone so wrong between Shaunie and Pastor Keon Henderson? People had seen them as the perfect couple, a woman of power and a man of faith, united by love. But now, it was over. And the more people looked, the more they realized that the cracks in their relationship had been visible for a long time. We just didn't see them before. At first, their love story seemed flawless. Shaunie found love again, and Keon had found a strong, successful woman by his side. But behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. Sources close to the couple revealed that they had very different lifestyles and expectations. Shaunie, being a businesswoman and a television producer, was used to the fast-paced world of entertainment, while Keon, as a pastor, was deeply committed to his faith and church community. At first, they embraced these differences, thinking they could balance each other out, but it didn't take long for reality to set in. Keon had a certain image to uphold as a pastor. His followers saw him as a man of God, a leader, someone who represented faith and commitment. Meanwhile, Shaunie was still deeply connected to the entertainment world, surrounded by the industry's drama, social circles, and business decisions that didn't always align with Keon's values. Over time, these differences became impossible to ignore. But here's where it gets even crazier. It wasn't just about their different lifestyles, there were deeper tensions at play. Sources say that Shaunie struggled to fully fit into the role of a pastor's wife. She had built her own empire, had her own voice, and wasn't willing to dim her light to fit into a mold that wasn't made for her. While she respected Keon's work and admired his dedication to faith, she found herself feeling out of place in his world. Church duties, expectations from the congregation, and the pressure to be a certain type of first lady began to take a toll on her. And then came the rumors, whispers that things weren't as perfect as they seemed. People started noticing that Shaunie had stopped posting as much about her marriage. The grand declarations of love became rare. Keon, who was once vocal about his wife, became more reserved. Some even claimed that certain members of Keon's church weren't fully accepting of Shaunie, seeing her as someone from the Hollywood world rather than a devoted pastor's wife. But wait, it gets even more shocking. A close friend of the couple revealed that there were moments when Shaunie felt like she was losing herself. She had spent years building her brand, her name, her identity. But in her marriage, she started feeling like she had to constantly adjust, compromise, and change. And no matter how much she loved Keon, she couldn't ignore that feeling. Now, the truth was out and fans were left stunned. What was once seen as a love story for the ages had turned into a story of struggle, sacrifice, and personal battles. But this isn't even the full story yet, because what happened next completely changed everything. As more details surfaced about Shaunie and Keon's marriage, it became clear that this wasn't just a simple case of growing apart. Something much bigger was happening behind the scenes. At first, people thought that their differences in lifestyle and expectations were the only reasons for their split. But then, a shocking truth came out. Sources close to the couple revealed that Shaunie wasn't the only one struggling in the relationship. Keon, too, had his own set of frustrations and doubts. Behind closed doors, Keon felt pressured by the weight of his public image. As a pastor, he had thousands of people looking up to him. Every sermon, every social media post, every public appearance had to align with the standards of a spiritual leader. But in his marriage, he started feeling like he was constantly caught between two worlds. His faith told him one thing, but his reality told him another. There were moments when Keon questioned whether he and Shaunie were truly meant to be. Not because he didn't love her, but because their lives were moving in different directions. Shaunie had always been independent, outspoken, and focused on building her career. Keon, on the other hand, had built his life around the church, dedicating himself to guiding others spiritually. What once felt like a powerful union now started feeling like a battle of identities. Then came the real turning point. According to insiders, there was one specific moment when Shaunie knew it was over. A moment that changed everything. It happened during a conversation that started as a simple discussion, but quickly turned into an emotional confrontation. Shaunie had been feeling disconnected for months, and she finally decided to open up about it. She told Keon that she felt like she was losing herself in the marriage, that she couldn't keep adjusting her identity just to fit into his world. But Keon's response wasn't what she expected. Instead of reassuring her or trying to find a middle ground, Keon told her that sometimes love alone isn't enough. That sometimes, no matter how much two people care about each other, they simply aren't meant to walk the same path forever. That was the moment Shaunie felt something shift inside her. She had been holding onto hope, convincing herself that things would eventually work out. But now she realized the truth. They were fighting a battle they had already lost. From that moment on, Shaunie started mentally checking out of the marriage. She stopped trying to force things to work, stopped pretending that everything was fine, And slowly, the love story that once seemed unbreakable began to fade away. But what happened next was the most unexpected twist of all. Because right when people thought they had figured out the reason behind their breakup, a shocking new detail came out. And trust me, this is something no one saw coming. Just when people thought they had pieced together the reason behind Shaunie and Keon's separation, a new revelation surfaced that changed everything. Rumors had been circulating for weeks, whispers of something deeper, something that had been kept hidden from the public eye. At first, it seemed like just gossip, but then sources close to the couple confirmed it. There was a third factor in their breakup. And no, it wasn't another person. It was something even more powerful, the truth about what was happening behind the scenes. It turned out that Shaunie and Keon had been struggling with something that no one had expected: trust. Not in the way most people think. There was no cheating scandal or secret betrayal. Instead, there was a silent battle between their personal beliefs and their future together. Shaunie had started questioning whether she truly fit into the life that Keon was building. It wasn't just about religion, it was about control, sacrifice, and the expectations that came with being the wife of a well-known pastor. Keon, on the other hand, had begun feeling like he was losing himself in trying to make the marriage work. He had always preached about faith and commitment, but deep down, he knew something wasn't right. He was trying to hold on to an image of a perfect marriage, one that people expected him to have. And then the breaking point came. A close friend of Shaunie revealed that there was a conversation that changed everything. One night, Shaunie and Keon sat across from each other, finally speaking their raw and unfiltered truths. No more pretending, no more hoping things would magically fix themselves. Shaunie admitted that she felt like she was constantly being molded into a version of herself that wasn't real, that every decision she made had to be filtered through the expectations of others. She loved Keon, but she couldn't live in a world where she didn't recognize herself. Keon, for the first time, had no words. He realized that this wasn't just Shaunie's struggle, it was his too. And that's when it became clear. They had to let go. Not because they didn't love each other, but because they loved themselves enough to walk away from something that no longer felt right. It wasn't an easy decision, and it definitely wasn't something they took lightly. But in the end, they both knew some love stories aren't meant to last forever. And just like that, the chapter that once seemed like a fairy tale came to an end. The world was shocked, fans had questions, but for Shaunie and Keon, the only thing that mattered was that they were finally free from the weight of trying to be something they weren't. The truth had been revealed.